Oh, and the other thing I forgot to mention about that is that this is the second time now this season that I have seen a shot that deliberately looked almost exactly like a shot of Percy in the Green Mile. I mentioned the one before about Miles, the one that Miles looked like Percy. I'll show that one to you real quick again. And now there's one where Ben looks like Percy when he's laying on the ground and he's got his mouth all wide open. I'll show that one to you now. And that one's actually kind of funny, so I don't know. But anyway, I don't know. I mean, I know there's no real importance to that. It's just some crazy, obsessive thing I've noticed. I mean, you could probably take any character in any movie and find a shot that looks like something on Lost. But for some reason, I don't know why, it keeps reminding me of Percy. I mean, I guess I want to be reminded of Percy because Percy's last name in the Green Mile is Wetmore, which is interesting. But I'm sure that's nothing. I've never been more sure that that's nothing than I am of that. So I'm not progressing, I'm not going after that. I'm not pursuing that with any level of excitement because I know it's not going to lead to anything. But, and then the whole thing with Nadia. It seems like they used Nadia more as a plot device to drive Saeed into working for Ben. But I don't know, just somehow I really doubt that that's originally what they intended to do with her. Because Ben wasn't even supposed to be part of the show. And they decided in the middle of season 2 when the fans responded positively to Michael Emerson that he was going to be that. I mean, I guess if they hadn't kept Michael Emerson, they would have had another character who would be doing what Ben is doing right now. I'm sure they would have had to have that as important as Ben has become to the story. But, and speaking of Michael Emerson, can we just say this man is absolutely one of the most brilliant actors on television right now? I mean, this guy is right up there with, well, he's the best actor on the show right now. And after last night, I mean, people were already saying he was incredible before last night, or before this just episode that aired just now. And, after that, just holy cow. They just completely broke him down in this episode. And I never imagined, I mean, I knew Michael Emerson was good, but his range, we never even saw half of it until last night, or until this last episode. So, it's pretty incredible. Yeah, I know, I sound so ambivalent right now because I'm so sick, man. Yeah, but it's weird because Ben shows Saeed this picture of a guy, and he says this guy was a few blocks from Nadia's house, and Saeed just kind of takes his word for it, and it's almost like, I don't know. I mean, how does Saeed know that Ben didn't hire this guy to kill Nadia just so he could go back to Saeed and say, this is the guy who killed Nadia, and have Saeed kill him, and then Saeed say, okay, who's next? I mean, excellent acting again by Naveen Andrews on that one, but I'm not sure if I totally buy it yet. I'm not totally convinced that Ben didn't hire that guy to do that so that Saeed would get mad, join Ben on his little revenge kick or whatever's going on here. I mean, I'm a huge fan of revenge, don't get me wrong, but I hope that's not all that that's not going to be like the driving device of the story now or anything. Oh, and then Ben and Woodmore at the end. Holy jeez. That was like, I totally agree with the people in Big O's chat the other night who said that was like a season finale worthy ending right there. That could have been a season finale. It was just unbelievable. Basically, Ben says, well, Woodmore, you sent those Fradies in and you killed my daughter, so I'm going to kill your daughter now. And of course, this is totally disregarding the fact that Alex isn't even Ben's daughter. And he said it himself. He said she's just a pawn. I just abducted her, used her. And that takes me back to Alex's death. I feel so bad for her because what a terrible way to die. To hear someone say that, to the one person who you thought, the one father figure that you thought you had, to sit there and listen to him say that you mean nothing to him, and then you get shot. That's just, I don't know. As much as I sympathize with Ben, I still hate that he had to say those things about her before she died. Of course, on the other hand, it's like I said before, I don't think he actually believed she was going to die. Because if he knew that there was any possibility of that, he wouldn't have said what he did. I sure don't think so. I think he would have approached it totally differently. He might have summoned Smokey sooner. But people are asking, why didn't he summon him in the first place? And I'm thinking, well, it's probably because Alex was out there. He didn't want to hurt her. Of course, it didn't seem... I mean, Smokey seemed to know what he was doing when he was out there. Now, all the other Losties and Ben were running around. He wasn't even touching them. But he was just going after the Fradies, and what a good job he did taking care of those butt wipes, I tell you. But back to what I was saying about Ben and Widmore at the end. You know, this is an interesting way to bring Penny into the picture now. Because now Ben has said, well, if you kill my daughter, I'm going to kill yours. He's going to go after Penny, and Widmore says, well, you're never going to find her. And Ben probably says, well, with enough money and determination, you can find anybody. And maybe now it's time for Penny to say, you know, with enough money and determination, you can hide from anybody. Yeah, so now there's this whole issue with Penny. And if Penny dies, oh, and that's it, you know. They better not kill Penny off, I'm telling you. Because now that brings up the question of whether or not Ben knows about Desmond again. They keep totally indirectly referencing that there's possibly a connection with Ben and Desmond that's waiting to happen. Like maybe Ben has been watching Desmond all this time, or maybe Desmond's been working for Ben all this time. It's tough to tell with Desmond exactly what his personal motivations are. I mean, I know he wants to get back with Penny, and then you get this whole thing where he can see the future, and he hasn't hardly even been in any of the episodes of this season so far. We haven't seen him in a while. There was one theory I actually heard about the bomb that Michael set off, and it was a really good theory. And it's one of these things that's been bugging me for the longest time. Why in the world would, you know, Ben have Michael set off this bomb just for it to turn out to be a fake? What does he want Michael to think? Well, what I think happened there with the bomb was that even Ben himself didn't know if the bomb was going to go off. He needed to see if the bomb went off to tell if there was any innocent people on the ship, because the island would decide whether or not the bomb went off. And if it didn't go off, that would tell Ben that there was innocent people on the ship. So he would take an appropriate course of action from that point. So that's what I think happened with the bomb. Now that's pretty much my theory on that. Or that's the theory that I'm going with. It's not my theory, like I lay claims to it or anything. But anyway, so that's all for this episode. I really wish I could have come up with more. There's just so much to talk about here, and I'm going on 16 minutes here, so I should probably just go ahead and shut the frack up. So I hope I get better pretty soon here, because I tell you. Because I've sounded like crap in this episode, haven't I? Okay. Take care, y'all, and I'll see you next Thursday, or next Tuesday probably, but whatever.